Hi, this is Lisa Ruff. I've been an aromatherapist for 30 years and I absolutely love essential oils. So, we are going to do a class here or a course called Introductory Uses to Essential Oils 101. These are the basics that are important to integrate so that the oils will work the very best for you. So, we're going to start out with the history. And the history is 10,000 years. And in that particular time, they have found the hieroglyphics to show that they would place the plant material in goose fat in the sun. And that's how they extracted the immune properties from those plants. And then we have King Tut's tomb that was buried in 1323 BC, and they excavated it in 1922, so about 100 years ago. So it was 3,000 years underground. And they discovered 50 alabaster vessels that were sealed with plant resins. And when they broke those plant resins, the frequency of the oils was almost as high as it is today. In other words, what that tells us is that your essential oils will last forever, except citruses. They did not express citrus oils back in the day. So citrus oils have a 2-year life, but all of your other essential oils have infinity. And of course, the Christ child was gifted with frankincense, myrrh, and gold. And the Dead Sea Scrolls state that frankincense was also called gold at that time because it was an exchange, a monetary exchange for goods. And of course, Mary Magdalene, she rubbed Jesus's feet with spikenard, which is another ancient essential oil. The Arabians in 500 BC created the frankincense trade route that came from the east toward the west, and Avicenna, who was a doctor from Arabia, improved the distillation of oils. That has been recorded. And Hippocrates, the father of medicine, he stopped the plagues with oils in Athens and also advocated that the oils should be added to the steam baths to prevent infections. And guess what? Alexander the Great and Napoleon, it's recorded that they used essential oils as well. The American colonists had access to essential oils, and in the late 1800s, there started to be a shift of the inventions and humans creating synthetics. So that started to lead to the pharmaceutical direction as opposed to the pharmacopoeia direction. Pharmacopoeia is all plant based and started in 659 AD in China. And of course, you know the story of Big Pharma and what has happened since the late 1800s with the petroleum based synthetic products. Dr. Rene Gattefossé in the 1920s in France was a scientist in the laboratory. His arm caught on fire and he plunged his arm into what he thought was a barrel of water, and it was actually a barrel of lavender. And at that point, they were amazed that there was no scarring, no infection. His arm healed beautifully. So he coined the word aromatherapy, which we're going to get into in the next slide. The doctors of World War I and World War II used essential oils quite a bit to prevent infections. And in the 1980s, the United States started to advocate and present education on essential oils. So we just talked about aromatherapy and Dr. Gattefossé creating that word. Aromatherapy is the breathing of the oils. So you breathe them into the nose, into the olfactory system, goes to the limbic part of the brain, and the hormonal system then carries the frequency energy throughout the entire body in 10 seconds. This is really appropriate for getting rid of and virus, bacteria, dust mites, fungus in the atmosphere. It also is a very quick way to work with emotional, spiritual, and mental issues with the breathing. Now, physical application, which is applying 1 to 2 drops of the oil as often as every hour for an acute situation such as pain in the body, headaches, etc. Maybe detoxing the liver. That's where you would want to physically apply the essential oils. And the blood and the lymph will carry that throughout your whole system in 20 minutes. The French medical doctors are the most advanced in essential oils, and they advocate taking them internally. I do not advocate that, but if you choose to do that, put your oil, a couple drops in a gelatin capsule or a vegan capsule, and add coconut oil so that it does not hurt the mucosal tissue as you swallow it. But you don't have to do internal. Inhalation and physical application are extremely adequate. And always, always remember essential oils come only from plants. Fragrance oils are synthetic, they are based in petroleum. They not only lack therapeutic properties, but they are really damaging. So, why are they therapeutic? Number one, this is the only reason to use essential oils oxygen enhancement because it allows the hemoglobin to carry more oxygen, and disease cannot survive in oxygen in the body. This was proven by Otto Warburg in 1941, and he received a Nobel Prize for that. The second very wonderful property that essential oils do is cellular frequency, which raises the vibrational frequency of the cells, which is essential to life. So we're going to go to the next slide here to understand frequencies. Negative thoughts will lower the frequency by 12 megahertz. Positive thoughts will raise by 10 megahertz. Prayer and meditation will increase frequency levels by 15 megahertz. And essential oils go as high as 320 megahertz. I also want to point out here that canned food, microwaved food, refined food, and packages that have words you can't explain do not have frequency. So look at our chart. The human body is pretty healthy at around 66 megahertz, and disease begins at 58. Colds, at 57 flu, 55 Candida albicans, which is yeast in the body. Epstein-Barr is a strong virus infection that can manifest in 52 megahertz. Cancer at 42, and death begins or spirit passes from the body at 25 megahertz. So we're going to go back now to our therapeutic page, and we are now to the antiviral and anti-mold. Now, this is really awesome, and you already have received a download when you ordered this particular introduction video. You've received a download that lists the oils that are antiviral and the oils that are anti-mold. Of course, antiviral is because it's going to strengthen the immune system, and we're going to have viruses forever. The plagues have proven that historically. So we always want to have plenty of antiviral oils around. And the mold, anti-mold, is especially prevalent here in Florida, but anywhere where there is humidity. So I always recommend for your anti-mold to prevent remediation, which a lot of my clients have been able to do by putting the anti-mold essential oils on your AC filter, destroying the mold in the air ducts, and also the essential oil will be in every room of your home or office. So check out your download on that. The fourth aspect is detoxification. And when you use the essential oils, they do detoxify your body. So that's why, as a newbie, you want to start out slow. If you ever get a headache, upset stomach, rash, back up on the amount that you use, because as we know, this size bottle is a 10 ml bottle. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. This size 10 ml bottle, which is a third of an ounce, is equal to 12 dump truck loads of plant material. So they're very, very concentrated. So like I said, 1 to 2 drops on the body every hour. And when you are diffusing, if you are a newbie, go light in the beginning. So the pushing out of the toxins can create some temporary discomfort, as we just covered. So, also, when you're diffusing the oils, it removes heavy metals from the air. What are heavy metals? Heavy metals are coming out of the paint, of the fire retardant on the fabric of draperies and furniture, the coating on the wood furniture, the synthetic flooring, synthetic carpeting, etc. Those molecules are coming out. So when you diffuse, and you will be detoxifying the air. And that is a fabulous aspect of essential oils. Also, number 5, they are anti-aging. The word antioxidant means anti-aging, and the number one high ORAC value is dragon's blood, and clove is after that. So, how do we use these oils? I've already talked about 200 drops in a 10 ml bottle, and that's going to give you 100 uses if you use 2 drops at a time. You want to apply 1 to 2 drops topically as often as every hour. Sometimes people will say to me, well, with my carpal tunnel, my arthritic fingers, I applied the oil in the morning and then by the evening it was bothering me. Well, when you are working on an acute situation, you want to reapply. All of the oils I carry are organic or wildcrafted. That means that they grow in nature, the word wildcrafted. And they are all tested via chromatography testing, spectrometry testing, and organoleptic testing that I do myself with my nose. So guess what? If you don't like the smell, apply it to the bottom of your feet. You have 10,000 pores there to carry it through the blood and the lymph to the entire body. And as if when you take a shower in the morning and you sort of remove the body oils, you might feel sensitive and you might put the oil on and it burns or it tingles. Just add a carrier oil, can be coconut, avocado, or olive, the same ones we cook with. And within 30 to 60 seconds, guaranteed that tingle will stop. And in all the 30 years as being an aromatherapist, I've never had anyone with any type of damage. They might have gotten pink skin for a short period of time, for a few hours, but adding that carrier oil is wonderful if your skin is sensitive. The diffusing of the essential oils, as we've already talked about, removes heavy metals, mold, dust mites, viruses, bacteria, and odors from the air. So when you've cooked fish and broccoli and your house is smelling a little off, just diffuse the oil of your choice. By the way, tangerine oil is a nice one to diffuse, not only because it makes you happy, but because it is not combative with foods if you're eating or if you're preparing food. So I also want to point out, very important, is a reference guide for essential oils. I want everyone to understand the safety factors and all the uses of each essential oil. And this book is by Connie and Alan Higley. It's available on Amazon. It's available on used copies on eBay, etc. It does not matter what year you purchase. That runs, I don't know, anywhere from 25 to 40 bucks. But most people are into the phone app, which is available a one-time fee of $4.99. The 2 aspects of this book or app are: you want a list of all your single oils so that you understand safety factors and applications. The second part is this app will give you about 400 different diseases, ailments, and what oils to use. So that's a must to have. So here we are. We're at the medicine cabinet, the list, and this is what the next video is going to explain. It's a course on explaining the basic 12 oils. This is wonderful if you need to start building your medicine cabinet and getting rid of some of your pharmaceuticals with their side effects, and learning how to use the oils for simple ailments that you can have. So make sure you received your download on the antiviral and anti-mold. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.